Businessworld and to the Indian Business Literature Festival, where business meets wisdom. Today I have with me Rajnish Kumar, the author of The Custodian of Trust. Thank you so much for joining me today, Mr.
Thank
Kumar.
you.
Yeah. The first question I have to ask you, of course, is, what was the inspiration behind writing this book? What made you want to put your story out there?
Well, the main reason was that the period during which I became chairman, this can be said to be one of the most tumultuous period as far as banking is concerned. The banking system in India was having the huge problem of the non-performing loans, pressure on profits. Public sector bank were facing intense competition from the private sector banks and the new age companies, what we call fintechs. And during my period as managing director, the banking system had to deal with the demonetization. And at the same time, there were many positive things about the digitization, financial inclusion initiatives of the government of India, in which banks were playing a very critical role. So I thought, and many times, like when the Yes Bank episode happened and State Bank stepped into for its rescue, there were many people who wanted to know that why did it happen, how did it happen, why did a State Bank come in. So there were many questions which people used to ask me. So then I thought that let me put my thoughts together and try to give some answers to the questions which general public is interested in. And this book essentially is not only for bankers, but it has also been written keeping in mind a layman on the street or a general public member who is not expert in the financial matters.
Absolutely. And there is, whenever there's a change in policy like this, there seems to be a lot of mistrust and a lot of misconceptions surrounding banks or even bankers for that matter. And I can imagine that was also part of your experience.
No, absolutely. Because whenever I used to hear to the TV debates, particularly in relation to the non-performing loans, and as well as in the media, print media, so I had a feeling that the debate was not very well informed, not based on facts and figures, and not based on how the decision making happens in the banks. And the bankers were almost like being painted as a villain without realizing the kind of contribution they make towards the economic development of the country. And banks in India have played a very critical role in taking out banking to the each and every corner of the country. They have played a very critical role in development of infrastructure, which has been financed by the banking system, and the experience has not always been pleasant when the banks have financed the infrastructure. So these are some of the issues which I wanted to highlight and try to remove the misconceptions to the extent possible.
Absolutely. And since this book has been out for some time now, what kind of reception have you received, both, maybe online, maybe personally? Do you think it's been positive? Do you think there's more you want to put out there?
No, I'm very satisfied about the kind of response it received. And many times, many people who I don't know, but they are from the particularly banking or the financial system, and when they meet at the airport or at any other public place, and when they say that I have read your book and I liked it, so then it gives me a lot of satisfaction that the purpose with which the book was written, it has been served to a large extent, and the response has been quite good to this book.
And how was the experience for you going down that memory lane and kind of, putting that in chronological order, not just the things that happened, but also your own personal journey through it?
Yeah, so I wanted to, I didn't want it to be the main focus of the book, and that's why it has been put at the end. I wanted to put focus on the contemporary issue. But at the same time, I felt that there may be curiosity amongst many people about what type of person Rajnish Kumar, how has his been journey, and maybe there are many young people who have ambitions and dreams. So whether they can draw some lessons from my journey. So that was the whole idea about writing myself. And of course, when you write your memoir, then it is a journey down the memory lane, and there are good experiences and there are bad experiences, and that's all what the life is. It's never a smooth affair. So it is not that every time it will be bad, and not it is every time that it will be good. But that's why it's so interesting, and I would say that every individual's life is a book and a story to tell.
Absolutely. That being said, do you think there's more to the story? Are we going to hear more of the story? Actually, there's definitely more. Are you planning on writing another book? And if you would, what kind of genre would you choose?
There are several topics or subjects which keep on coming to the mind. But my interest particularly is around how the emergence of new age companies and technology is shaping the new India, and the critical role which the digitization of the economy is playing in the development of GDP and overall improvement of the productivity, be it the banking system or many other areas. And India as a country has done a wonderful job. So that is a subject matter of interest to me. Whether I will write a book or not, that is not decided as yet.
Absolutely. Thank you. And many different people are going to pick up this book, right? And they're going to take something different out of it. They're going to focus on different parts of it. If you could hear about one key takeaway, like what would you want the reader to take away from this book?
This book is in 3 parts, and for everyone there is something. So the people who are interested that what was happening on the general economic front with the non-performing loans, Yes Bank, Jet Airways. So section 1 is directed towards them. Section 2 is about the state bank's transformation. So many people from the banking and particularly in the State Bank of India, they will find it interesting. And third one is the people who like to read about individuals or biographies or autobiographies. So section 3 is about this, and then a general message about the life, the learnings, the role models. So I think there is something for everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us today at the Indian Business Literary Festival.
Thank you, and my compliments.